Right, folks, today we're going to be looking at Game Boy Advance games. We're going to be looking at how to spot whether or not your game is a genuine sealed copy or whether it is a reseal, and the differences between a European copy of a particular game and its counterpart, its American counterpart. Now, I'm not sure if the North American one includes Canada or if it's just for the United States. If someone knows, please let me know in the comments below. The four figures in front of you should give you an indication of which series we're going to be looking at today. If you don't know, it's Golden Sun. And there we go. Here is, in all its glory, Golden Sun The Lost Age on the Game Boy Advance. I bought this off eBay 15 years ago, I'd say, around that. It cost me £60 at the time. It hasn't been opened, obviously, and it's some pretty good nick. It sat in that Medal of Honor Rising Sun tin for 15 years. Kept it in good nick. But a few days ago, I was like, you know what? I was on eBay, and every so often I go onto eBay and I type in Golden Sun just to see if I can stop. And I've always wanted to get the European version, and well, I got this one for an absolute steal. I was actually wearing a balaclava. I wasn't really, but what an absolute steal. I should have wore one when I was buying it. This only cost me £37. The minimum bid, or the starting bid, was £30. I put a max bid of £40 on. Went to sleep, woke up the next day, and I won it. What a bargain. Like, to compare, I bought this for £60, I think it was, 15 years ago. So, and I'll get, you'll see why in a wee second, why that was such a good deal. Because, in the post today, I was like, I can't have the second game without the first game, so I went out of my way and ordered that. This cost me £140. That's almost 4 times the price. Now, this game is a bit more rare because it is 2 years older, and there just seems to be less copies sealed in circulation, but still, you'll not go on eBay and get that. That'll not happen again. That's pure luck. But I digress. So, just looking at the boxes, you can see some obvious differences. Obviously, the not the font, but the bold around the lettering is different. This is how you easily spot whether a game is from North America. Obviously, the rating's different. The ESRB on the American copy, we have PEGI. The image is a wee bit more zoomed out on the American copy. But things get more interesting when you flip to the back. This is where the differences really become apparent. In the American copy, we have all the information just in English. When you get to Europe, obviously, with so many countries, sometimes they include a second language. Sometimes it's all in one. Like, I've seen copies of this game all in French. I've seen it all in Spanish. I've never seen it all in English, but in this case, it's English and Dutch. So it's a combination of two. Every copy I've ever seen of this game in the United Kingdom or in Ireland, where I'm from, it has always included that, and there's another one just to prove it. And I had one before this as well. I'm Golden Sun mad. No, basically I just wanted to frame this game, and obviously this game. So I've ordered a frame, 19 by 6 inches. It'll be space, something like that there, and it'll have enough space for 2 cartridges in the middle. And it'll look nice on the wall. But back to the games. So the feel of the boxes, the American box is very cheap. It feels very cheap. I'm not saying it is cheap. Obviously they're both made out of cardboard, but because there's less languages. Obviously, the European version has English, Spanish, Dutch, German, Italian. I don't want to say. I thought I was going to say one twice there, but the main European languages. When I say main, the main ones you think of when you think of Europe. Obviously, if you go to Latvia or Poland, I'm not sure what their boxes look like. If they even have, I'm sure they do, but I think they only come in 5 languages or 5 or 6 languages, but I'm not really sure. Obviously, the Japanese would have their own box, but because there's so many languages in the manual, the game manual, obviously to be a bigger book, which weighs more, and in turn would require a more sturdy box. If you see the bottom of American Game Boy Advance boxes, this shitty fold, for the lack of a better word. It's just so cheap looking. The box is very slim, very skinny, very cheap, very light. Whereas you get the big beefy European box, it just feels so sturdy for cardboard. It's hard to explain. Now on the scene themselves, the European box uses the red Nintendo banner. It runs around the whole box. It looks nicer as well. It's just a single strip, whereas when you get to America, they use a technique known as a H-seam. Basically on the front you'll not notice anything, but when you flip to the back, sometimes there's a horizontal line that runs along here. In this case, sometimes it's vertical, but in this case it is the horizontal line, and then when it meets here, it meets onto a vertical line. So if it was running this way, it would run up, and then there would be a line across the top. It's either or. That is how you spot whether or not your copy is legit. Now, this is only in regards to first-party games. So your Mario's, your Metroid, F-Zero, Donkey Kong, Fire Emblem, Advance Wars, Kirby, things like that, Pokemon. So if you buy a third-party game, whatever, it's the whatever. It's down to their own. Basically, this one rule doesn't apply to all games essentially. So, as I say, this one came today. Paid 130 quid, or 140 pounds, sorry, with postage. It came from Germany. I also have this. That was my original copy I bought 10 years ago. A friend of mine got this off eBay for me. I didn't have eBay. I didn't have internet 15 years ago, and I played the second game, and I always wanted the first one. Went into all my shops, local game shops, and I was always asking every 2 weeks or so, well, he's getting it in, or he's have it, and they never did. So I had to resort to the internet. So when I bought this 15 years ago, it was only up until recently I was actually made aware that it was actually legit. I couldn't tell. I thought it was legit all them years going in. When I bought this, I had my doubts because I felt like how good a quality this was. But then I was just doing research online, and someone did verify that the H-seam basically makes it legit. So I bought this. This came today, as I was saying there, and then this came yesterday. I bought this, but once I bought this, I instantly regretted it. I was like, why? I spent £30 this, and then I was like, you know what? I may as well just bite the bullet and get the sealed copy, just because I was going to get it at some point anyway. The person who had this on eBay listed it as in very good collectible condition. That's what he listed it as, and for the most part it is. But there's a big, ugly slab of sellotape that's running down, holding the spine together. Like, what a cock he was, but didn't mention that, didn't have photos of it on eBay. What a fucking belly end. But anyway, that concludes this video on how to spot a genuine copy of a first party Nintendo game, and my endless collection of Golden Sun games. I'm missing one I want a sealed copy of the American original box, and I'll pick it up at some point, and then I may get the Japanese box. I don't know, I'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna stick this on Reddit for the crack. Yee.